morning. Welcome to P&B Sports Show, the show where we talk about everything sports and everything trending in the world of sports. I'm Arokotom. On today's show, we are going to have two guests, Ero John, all the way from Benin, and Osagede Christian, all the way from Abuja. And they are going to be dissecting the FA Cup quarterfinals again with AFC Bournemouth and Manchester City. Then we are going to move to the NBA and we are going to be discussing about LeBron James and the Lakers beating the Memphis. So sit tight, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. So, like I said earlier, we're going to have two guests, Ero John and Mr. Chris Osagede, and they're going to be analyzing the match, that's the FA Cup quarterfinals, with AFC Bournemouth and Manchester City. So, Mr. Ero, how are you doing? And Mr. Chris?
Good morning, Mr. Tom, and good morning, viewers and listeners. I'm very fine, and it's a pleasure to be on this. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Chris, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone that is on call, and our viewers out there. Good morning, and I believe we're going to have a great time together today.
Yes, as always. As always.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, Mr. Chris. I know that Manchester City. I know that you're a big fan of Manchester City, and
yes,
you know, congratulations to your club. You know, they've qualified for the FA Cup semi-finals after beating Bournemouth in the quarterfinals. So how do you feel about it?
Yes, well, for me, it's a good one for us because right now, what we are doing right now, we are just trying to salvage our season because our season has been so woeful since the beginning of this season. We've not been performing very well. The only thing that we just need to console the fans and console the club right now is winning that FA Cup so that we can be able to salvage the season. So for me, as I speak to you, I think I'm doing great. I'm very, very fine, and I'm so happy that we are already in the right track in salvaging the season.
Okay, so the semi-finals qualification, I think it has brought in a breath of fresh air for all the fans and supporters of Manchester City. But let's move to you, Ero John. I want to find out, what do you think about the performance against Bournemouth?
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Mr. Tom. But for their performance against AFC Bournemouth. The reason being that Bournemouth this season has been one hell of a spectacular team. They have actually put up great performances in the Premier League. Imagine Bournemouth having to get up to the quarterfinal stage in the FA Cup. It shows a lot about their performance this season. So I think that Manchester City, like Mr. Chris has said, their performance this season has been woeful, has been awful compared to the Manchester City that we all know and admire. So I feel like they beating Bournemouth 2-1 in that quarter-final fixture is actually a great feat for them. It's a sigh of relief. Personally, before that match, I was tipping Bournemouth to come out victorious in that game, considering the way they have been this season. But the Manchester City won that fixture 2-1 and even dominating the game. It shows a lot that they have really they wanted it because if you check critically, that is their only hope of ever achieving a trophy this season, considering their awful performances over time. So I give it to Manchester City winning that game. They did not just win the game; they dominated the game, despite their striker Haaland missing a penalty in the first half of the game. They still held their heads up high and they came out victorious. I give it to them.
Okay, so with the first goal from Bournemouth, at any point, Mr. Chris, did you think that Manchester City was not going to take this match, was not going to win it at all?
Yeah, thank you for that question. You see, when Bournemouth scored that first goal, the first thing I did was to look at the time, and I said, well, unlike the previous season, there will be enough time for us to come out victoriously in that match. I was a bit scared looking at our performance from the beginning of the season to that very match. I was like, wow, is this another loss? But one thing I really want to pick out from that game yesterday is the younger lads in the team. They've actually come out to prove to us as a fan that, because when Pep Guardiola made that substitution at second half by bringing in O'Reilly, I was like, is this the kind of substitution this guy? Is this guy really does he really wants to win this match? So what is this guy coming to do? You are bringing in a defender. But I never knew he had his tactics right, and I think that guy was just the game changer. So to me, I feel there is a great how will I say this now? There is a great space for the younger lads to fit into the team. Mixing the team up with the experience. You can't still take it away from the experienced team, which is Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, and the rest, because those are the experienced teams. So, but mixing the younger lads with these guys, definitely that actually brought out the win for us. Okay. So I think I would say kudos Pep Guardiola for taking that bold step.
With Rodri and Akin having injuries, you understand, and now I think Haaland has an ankle injury, Mr. Ero. So do you think that the younger guys on the team or the new signings on the team will be able to take the bull by the horn in the semi-finals?
Personally, I will not be biased. Just like Mr. Chris said, if you watch that quarter-final game, when O'Reilly came on, I also was of the fact that what is this guy coming to do? But I've noticed something over time, not just in Manchester City, but in other teams. You see these young generational talents, they have the hunger. They have the hunger. If you imagine a defender coming on and giving 2 assists to give Manchester City the win in that game. They have this hunger. They want to impress. Yes, they want to impress. They want to leave a mark. They feel like this is their time. This is the best time for them to show what they can be and what they can do. And somebody like O'Reilly, who came on in the second half and gave 2 assists, he was the one that assisted Haaland and the new signing, Masoud. So you can imagine that guy has registered the sport in the heart of the coach, Pep Guardiola. But going into the semi-final, I will not lie to you, Mr. Tom. Nottingham Forest is another very, very big threat. In fact, this season they are in the top 4, and they have. In fact, this season they have blew my mind off track. They have what's it called? They have done so much. They have beat the mark that we set for them. I see them going to the Champions League. If Manchester City is not very careful, I don't think Manchester City can edge them in the semi-final. The reason is this: if you look at the Nottingham Forest team, 70 to 80% of the team is filled with young stars. Also, it's filled with young stars. So it will be a game of hunger versus hunger. It will be a game of who needs it more. Who needs it more?
Especially with Haaland's injury.
Yeah, exactly. Haaland is injured, and if you have checked Manchester City this season all round, you will realize that the injury that happened to Rodri affected the team greatly. You will know that Rodri has been the unsung hero of the team,
Yeah.
and then Kevin De Bruyne was injured at some point until he came back to the pitch recently. He is still struggling to find his feet completely. So I personally do not see Man City edging over Nottingham Forest in the semi-final. Being that Nottingham Forest this season, they have been one terror of a team. Yeah, that's my take on the
Okay.
semi-finals.
Okay.
I don't see Man
So
City beating
talking about
Nottingham Forest.
Omar Mamouche, you know, in the when the substitution was made for Haaland, a lot of people were skeptical, but O'Reilly gave the assist, and we saw a goal from him. So, Mr. Chris, coming into the match, into the semi-finals, do you think Omar Mamouche is the right replacement for Erling Haaland?
Well, before I answer your question, I want to say something. Who is Nottingham Forest? Nottingham. Who is Nottingham Forest? That's my question. Who is Nottingham?
Aaron John, I think he's
Where did they come
asking you
from?
that question.
Where did they even come from? Who is Nottingham Forest? Where did they come from? What history do they have? What is their pedigree? What have they achieved in the past that they are coming to raise shoulder up with Manchester City? Ah, man. Well, now just this season, they cause all this rubbish. But let me tell you something. One thing I am very sure of is that we are not going to slack because, like I said, beginning of the show, that we are looking for a way to salvage our woeful performance this season. That is what I said. And this is the only way we can salvage our season.
Yes, this is the
This is
consolation
the only
prize.
way. Exactly. So we are going into that semi-final at Wembley. We are going into that semi-final at Wembley Stadium in England with, in short, it's like with our last breaths. We will fight with our last blood because the season must be favorable. That is our Champions League final for the season for us.
Okay.
That semi-final like a Champions League final for us because we know what Nottingham Forest have done to us this same season. So we will not allow it to happen again. Yes, back to the question you've asked. I can convincingly let you know that 4 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, before we brought in Erling brought Haaland, when Aguero left for Barcelona, my brother, we won the Premier League playing a false nine striker. For those that have been following Manchester City's game, we won the Premier League without a striker. We adopted a formation called false nine formation, and we used it. We won the Premier League. I'm not saying that season and this season are the same, but as long as Pep Guardiola is still in charge, yes, he had a bad season this season, but I know he has what it takes to win that match without Erling Brot Haaland.
Okay.
I know
Talking
what
about
it takes.
talking about Pep Guardiola.
Okay.
This
Yes.
and his performance this season. You can see that in the Premier League, I think Liverpool are fifth on the table. Liverpool have crashed out of the Champions League. Liverpool are struggling to qualify for the Champions League, being in fifth place. So what do you think? Do you think there is any chance that you people can go to the Champions League, and at the same time that the fire that you people have carried in the FA Cup quarterfinals leading into the semi-finals, that you people can carry that fire and qualify to the Champions League?
Okay. That's also a very good question. If not because of the pedigree of Manchester City as a club, anybody in the fifth position is not a team that had a bad season. Being in a fifth position in the Barclays English Premier League is not a bad season, but just because of the caliber and the pedigree of the club we are talking about, that's why we are saying it's a bad season for them.
Yes.
Now,
It's Manchester City. I think for the past how many seasons they've been doing well? For the past like 7
yes,
seasons.
we've never exactly. First, second. I think the last time we had a third position was almost close to almost 7 years ago.
Yes.
You know. Now, going back to your question, are you aware that Manchester United and Nottingham Forest will be having a Premier League game today? And I tip Manchester United winning that match. Yes, we know them too had a very woeful performance this season. They've been having a woeful performance this season.
Yes.
But today's game is going to be a cracker. And I tip Man U winning that game. Not just because it will favor me, because I believe Man U want to prove something again. That even if everybody cannot just come and match us and go. So today's match is also going to be a crucial match between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. And I'm also tipping them to win. And if Nottingham Forest loses that match, that will give us another opportunity for us again to top. And for me, we have 9 matches to go. 9 matches. I don't see Nottingham Forest winning 9 matches at a stretch before the end of the season.
Okay.
I cannot see, man. There's no way Nottingham Forest will win 9 straight matches. It's not possible. I tip them losing about 4 matches or 3. About either 4 or 3 matches. They are going to drop points. And if they drop points, you know Pep Guardiola is very good at this. He is going to top you. He will top you.
I like the fact that you are not just talking as a fan, but you're actually talking as a sports analyst. But Mr. Ero John, in 1 minute, please just tell me, what do you think is affecting Manchester City, and what do you think the solution for Manchester City this season, like moving into the next season, is going to be?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Scott.
Hello, Mr. Iro, are you there? Hello, Mr. Iro, are you there? Mr. Chris, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, can the answer that I threw to Mr. Iro, can you please answer that question?
I think he's back. Okay.
Can you please answer that question, Mr. Chris?
I think he's talking.
Okay, so we're going to go on a short break. So just grab your popcorn, sit tight, and we'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back to P&B Sports Show. We lost Mr. Ero John back there, but right now we are going to be moving to the NBA, where we're going to be talking about basketball. You know, and here we still have Mr. Chris Osagede, who is going to be dissecting the NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers performance against the Memphis Grizzlies. Mr. Chris, Please, can you
Yes.
just give us a feedback on what happened between the Los Angeles Lakers against Memphis Grizzlies? Because we saw that the Lakers won Memphis with about, let me say, 6, 7 points. So can you just give us a breakdown of what's really happened?
Okay. First thing first. The Memphis Greeks and the Los Angeles Lakers, they are actually following themselves back to back on the Western Conference table.
Yes.
Right now, as I speak to you, the Memphis Grizzlies is also trying to overtake the Los Angeles Lakers to the fourth position, because they are right now directly sitting at the fifth position of the Western Conference final, while the Los Angeles Lakers right now are directly sitting on the fourth position at the Western Conference final. So that match was a very crucial match on who was supposed to take the day. But you see, the coming of
Luka Doncic.
what Luka Doncic to that team has greatly changed Los Angeles Lakers. Their pattern of play, their offensive play, has greatly changed compared to when he was not there. Looking at also the Memphis Grizzlies, they have been coming with that same old pattern of putting all the ball towards Ja Morant. But I'm so happy for the Lakers, because even LeBron James has even said it in his press conference that Luka coming to join him was a power force in terms of their offense, and you can see it's playing out well.
Yeah.
Nobody
And
expected.
I think Luka had 25 points, if I'm not mistaken.
25 points on a very good day. Luka averages 28-25 per game. So his coming has brought a very big force for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I must tell you, they are really a force to reckon with. So
if you look at, sorry for cutting you short. If you look at the game against Memphis, you can see that just 3 players of the Los Angeles Lakers had 85 points and over 5 steals in the game, with enough rebounds and assists. So I think we can't really talk about this game without talking about Austin Reeves, who had the highest points with 31 points in that
31
game.
points.
Yes.
In that game. Austin Reeves, I will tell you something for free. LeBron James has brought out the best in Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves of 3 seasons ago, Austin Reeves of 4 seasons ago, he was nowhere to be found. But because of the trust LeBron James has on his teammates that have not really proven themselves, these guys, they started proving themselves. These guys decided. So Austin Reeves is one of the players in Los Angeles Lakers that LeBron James has brought out the best in him. And today, if not arguably one of the best guards in the league, I would just say it's just remaining small for him to be in that position, because that guy's game has tremendously improved.
Okay.
You can't even. Yeah, it has tremendous, and I will give a big ups to LeBron James for standing up to improve this guy's game by trusting in him.
Okay.
So we can't really, just like you said, we can't really just keep quiet on Austin Reeves and just put the whole praises on Luka and LeBron. No, Austin Reeves is also one of the persons again that has improved in that Los Angeles Lakers, and who knows, at the end of the day, they might even qualify for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. The Lakers fans are actually hoping that the Lakers qualify for the NBA playoffs. But looking at the way Austin Reeves plays, some people say Austin Reeves is a shooting guard. Some people say Austin Reeves is a 2. Some people say he's a point guard. What is your take on his type of play?
Well, for me, I think Austin Reeves is a natural shooting guard. Is a natural shooting guard. Right now, the coming of Luka has pushed Austin Reeves to be a natural shooting guard, because you cannot play Austin Reeves as the point guard when Luka is there. Luka brings the ball, then dishes out to Austin Reeves. Then Austin Reeves does whatever he wants to do with the ball. So for me, I look at Austin Reeves as a shooting guard right now. He can't be a point guard. Leave that point guard for Luka or LeBron.
LeBron, yes. Well, talking about Luka now, Luka, since he came into the Los Angeles Lakers, it's like it has been like a blessing in disguise for the Los Angeles Lakers. They knew what they were getting when he came in, and he has delivered back to back to back. The complaint about his previous team was that he wasn't fit. But looking at him now, he's looking so lean. What do you think has affected Luka Doncic's health and change in play since he came to the Lakers?
Well, Luka was just, don't forget the previous season with the Melvins, Luka played the NBA final with the Boston Celtics, where they crashed out in the finals, playoffs. So it's not as if he was not in his top game. Luka has, right from the beginning, has been delivering. But the issues around Luka was that he was not a defensive player. He doesn't track back. He doesn't defend. Even right now in the Lakers, he's even still trying to fit into that shoe. Hello?
I said, you said he's actually struggling to play defense in the Lakers.
Yes. Up till now, he's still struggling to play defense. But the truth is that when you have defensive players around you, your own job is to go out there and become that offensive beast, which he has been delivering. So for me, when he was at the Melvis, he was not having that defensive players to cover up for him. That was why. So now that he has come, you trust LeBron James. He can run the court back and front for you.
Yes.
He plays offense, he plays defense. So you can rely on LeBron in terms of your defense. You can also rely on Achua on your defense in that Lakers. So these are guys that
you mean Rui Hachimura?
Yes, you can rely on him again on defense. So that's why you see Luka has been delivering back to back, because we got the defensive players in Lakers.
And like you rightly said, he's the offensive beast.
He's the offensive beast. Allow him to be at the top front. So once you understand Luka to be the guy to give you the points, to do the offensive damage for you, then you need to cover up for him. Everybody have their positions in basketball. Everybody have their positions in basketball.
Talking
but
about,
that does not mean that when you have the opportunity to defend, you are not going to defend. But
Mr. Chris,
offensive. Okay.
Mr. Chris, talking about Luka Doncic being the offensive beast, I think Luka Doncic was wonderful in his performance, when he gave the assist to LeBron James, which made LeBron James score his 42,000 regular season points in history. And I think he's the first person to ever do it in the NBA. So what do you think about that amazing dunk? Because that dunk was breathtaking. The pass was breathtaking. It was a no-look pass from Luka. I was fascinated. What do you think about that basket, and what does this mean for the NBA?
Wow. Like I always say, take away LeBron James from the NBA, you have taken out a lot of how will I put it now? A lot of hour from the NBA. If LeBron James retires today, that euphemism in the NBA, you are not going to see it anywhere again.
Yes.
He has brought that euphemism to the NBA. He has brought a lot of glory to the NBA. Yes, Michael Jordan did his best, but for me, I'll always compete LeBron James as the greatest ever. Because apart from his gameplay, his attitude, his charisma, and everything is just top notch. Imagine him making that point to the NBA. I don't think anybody is going to get that point again. Yes, we know there are some hungry lads coming up, but what LeBron James has done in the past 21 years in the NBA, I doubt if we are going to ever see that again if he retires. So to the NBA, it's a honor to them having LeBron James played in the league and having LeBron James coming to beat a lot of records it's really an honor to the NBA, and it's something that the NBA as an association is going to be proud of anytime he retires.
Yes.
Then for Luka Doncic, like I said, he is a maestro. Luka Doncic is an offensive maestro. Look at the no-look pass. Look at the flash dunk. These guys, they've now understood themselves like never before.
You can see the synergy.
The synergy is just too much, And this is the kind of player LeBron James have been looking for offensively, and he has finally gotten it. So it's a joy watching both of them play together. It's so sweet watching both of them playing together, because for the past 4 games, 5 games, 6 games that they've been playing together, you can see that synergy. It's top notch, and I believe that was what LeBron James have been looking for.
Yes.
No disrespect, no disrespect to AD. No disrespect to Anthony Davis, but what Luka has brought into that team, Anthony Davis wouldn't have ever fallen to that shoe of what Luka has brought to the team. Yes, both of them are even playing different wings, so there's no way it would have even happened.
Okay, so Mr. Chris, I think I would say again, I was fascinated by the no-look pass. I love LeBron. I love Luka Doncic, but we have to move to the rumored trade. And in like 1 minute, what do you think about the rumored trade of KD from the Suns to the Lakers? What do you think, if this trade goes through, what does it mean for the Suns and what does it mean for the Lakers?
If the Lakers knows what is good for them, they should not buy AD.
KD.
Like they should not buy Kelvin Durant. There's a reason why I said so. They are going to spoil the chemistry right now that is happening there. Because if Kevin Durant comes in, automatically that gameplay between Luka and LeBron will change. It will change.
I agree.
It will change. That synergy will change. There's no two ways about it. And if you alter that synergy between LeBron James and Luka, my God, it will scatter again.
I agree.
Because you also want to put Kevin Durant up there. You also want to put him into that synergy. And how is it going to work? And not forgetting that what's his name now? Durant plays from the top. I hope you know. Durant plays from the top. So how do you want to do it? Durant does not go under the basket. He doesn't play from under the basket. He plays from the top. So what do you want to do at that point in time? You are going to scatter that thing. It's just going to scatter.
I agree. But looking at everything now, it's looking like the Suns have to let go of Kevin Durant because they've passed their cap space and is about to reach his maximum pay, and a team has to pick him up. And for that to happen, they'll probably have to let go of Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and one other strong caliber player in the paint to get Kevin Durant. Exactly. And looking at it, it's like Kevin Durant is, sorry to say, he's playing his best basketball ever, but he's not in his prime. He's old, and we need young guys like Austin Reeves to stay on the Lakers. But my last question to you before we go, I want you to repeat it again. Between LeBron James and Michael Jordan, please, who do you think is the greatest of all time?
You like setting me up. I don't know why you're just setting me up this morning. Like I said, right now, for the past 20 years or 21 years, nobody in the history of NBA have done what LeBron James have done. Yes, Michael Jordan, in his time, he did great wonders. Having a 6 ring. I think he had up to 6 rings, while LeBron James just had only 4 rings. That's what people will say. Yeah, LeBron James had only 4 rings. While LeBron James currently is having 4 rings, while Michael Jordan had 6 rings. But the truth is that, like I said, it's not just only the game of play. Have you seen the attitude? Have you seen the swagger, the swaggerlicious style LeBron James have brought to the NBA? Have you seen that attitude? Come on.
Okay.
For me, I always pick LeBron James, man. I'm not going to see
So
that
what you
attitude.
are
I didn't
saying,
see
so what you are saying is that when it comes to the game of championship in the NBA, you are giving it to Michael Jordan. When it comes to the game of stats and in our time, you are giving it to LeBron James.
exactly perfectly.
Okay. Thank you very
Perfectly.
much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Osagede. It's been lovely having you on this show. And you know, every time you come, you bring something new to the table. You have information about everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much for
so
coming
much.
on our show. Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
So, like you've rightly heard, we've spoken about the FA Cup, Manchester City, and we've moved over to the NBA to discuss the dynamics of the Lakers basketball and the uniqueness of, will I say, their best three right now, which is LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves. So, thank you so much for staying and watching the P&B Sports Show. Have a blessed day and see you next time.